Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, just bringing in here right quick, just a little dryer update as to what's happening. Sure enough, this past Tuesday, we were hoping to finish soybeans, but mid-afternoon there on Tuesday, we only had about 15 acres left to go, and sure enough, ended up getting a rain that stopped us. And so we were down yesterday, and we do have some nice breeze picking up today. You can see the sky is clear for the most part, a few big marshmallow clouds. Anyway, thought I'd show you right quick what I'm doing here on this dryer. Alright, start dryer. There we go. On the unload, well, I'll just kind of start at the beginning. When we first getting this thing going, when it would unload corn, that right there is the unload motor. That big pulley is what drives the auger in the bottom of the dryer. It was taking about 16 minutes to unload the dryer. Well, that's the same amount of time that it took to unload the old dryer. And like Dad and I said, that's why we bought this thing. You know, we wanted it to go faster. And yes, that corn there on the bottom, before we got that rain, I actually opened up the bottom doors, dumped them, then shut them back down. That way you don't have a bunch of rotten corn in the bottom of it. But anyway, and so I'll just hop up in the back here and show you right quick. And so one of the first things I did to get this thing sped up, here's inside. You got a false floor between the bottom and the top fan. I'll just jump up here and show you. And up here's the top part. There we go. Top fan kind of looks like the back of a jet engine. But yeah, you got this false floor here in the center. Reason for that, and is for continuous flow. That way the top fan can be drying, and as the corn is slowly going down through the dryer, once it gets down below that false floor, the bottom fan can be cooling, and then of course then it's being metered out down below. Well, we run automatic batch, which means the dryer fills, it dries, it empties, then refills again. We do that for that way we can keep different landowners separate. And so that way all we have to do is simply look at the batch counter and take, let's say, 10 batches or however many batches you get. But sticking with round numbers, 10 batches times 365 bushel per batch, and there you have your total. Simple as that. And so because now if we had a semi-scale, no big deal. But anyway, and so one of the first things I did to speed this thing up on the unload to try and get it down from 16 minutes is here inside, like you just saw me, it's got these doors that cover the auger there in the bottom. And they just go, it runs the full length of the dryer in the bottom. And yes, there's a plane going over. But down here at the bottom, these here are called your metering rolls. And that is what is feeding the corn into the auger. Well, down here on the bottom, on each side, you got these gate panels you can see right here. Got a notch bolt on each end. Those were shoved clear to the bottom. And so, well, for one thing, that was one reason why it was going so slow. So, I got in here and I raised them all up. And you can see, got a lot of gap. And so that dropped the unload time from about 16 minutes down to about 12 minutes. Well, I still wasn't happy with that because we want this thing to move, not creep. Go ahead and shut that back down. Go ahead and shut the back doors. And I'll try and jump down off here without doing a face plant. There we go. Now let's bring you back up here to the front. Okay, here we are on the front of the thing again. Like I say, this here is the drive for that bottom auger. These here are your metering roll drives, and that's all variable speed also. It drives off of this motor. Well, there's the motor, and there's the gearbox reduction. Well, it's basically a 90 degree. The motor sits this way, and it drives pointing back at me. So what I did over here on the motor is originally brand new, it had a 3-inch pulley. We looked around, and we had on another used electric motor a 3.5. So I put a 3.5-inch pulley onto this, and that dropped the unload time down to right around 10 minutes. Because see what happens with this dryer, when this kicks in, a timer starts counting down on the load motor, which I'll be showing. When that timer hits 10 minutes, and you can only top it out at 10 minutes. You can't go past 10 minutes. I'm not sure why. But when it hits 10 minutes, it starts throwing, it'll start to throw wet corn back into it. Well, you don't want that. And so that's why I'm trying to get this thing to unload faster. But like I say, when I went from 3 to 3.5, that dropped it down to right around roughly 10 minutes. And so I figured, well, why not jump up even faster? Yesterday, that Dad was in town, so I called him, and he stopped by a farm supply store, and they had this 4-inch on hand. And so I've not run corn through it, but I'm hoping this will drop it down to 7 to 8 minutes to unload. And let's get back down underneath here. And right up there, that is the load auger coming up from the wet bin, or the hopper tank as we call it, coming from down there, going up and dropping in the top. And I want to work on that and see how quickly we can get that to actually load the dryer, because you simply do that there at the bottom of the hopper tank by simply opening and closing the flow of corn coming in. That used to be an 8-inch auger going up, and it's now a 10-inch. And so that's what I've been working on this morning. And right there, of course, you got your dry time, cooling time, and then over here you got your unload time. Hopefully you can see that. And it's still on 12 minutes. And how I set that is, when I get ready to unload it, is I'll hit the unload switch, and then I hit the stopwatch on my phone, and I watch it. And that gives me an approximate idea of where I can set the unload timer at. Because as soon as that zeroes out, it'll shut down and then trip in for the load. And like I say, that's the whole point of why we bought this new setup, was for speed, not just poking along. And so, like I say, we're just trying to get a lot of the bugs out of it and different things set up onto it. And those metering rolls, like I say, they are variable speeds, so I can simply push that knob, and right now it tops out clear up here to 100, and right now we're sitting right at about, well, on the number readout, it'll read out at 1000, but right now we're sitting at about at 720. And like I say, that was with the 3.5-inch pulley. Now that I've got a 4-inch pulley onto it, I'm hoping I can take and jack that up to at least 800, if not more. But yeah, just thought I'd show you what's happening. This afternoon they are calling for some good breeze, and we actually have a good breeze picking up right now. I'm hoping, we're hoping that we can maybe combine beans, but we're not sure on that. Yesterday we were down because we just had light rain off and on all day. And so I went ahead and switched the big combine back over to corn. And so we may try some corn later on this afternoon. We'll go ahead and accept that. And now we're back to the home screen. And mainly just so we can keep playing with this thing and try and get it set to how we want. And so just thought I'd show you all what's happening. So hey, take care. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.